Just got in Montana yesterday, and it was raining yesterday when we got in, but it's absolutely beautiful today. So, gonna try to get some painting in. My name is Jason Tako, and I invite you to like and subscribe. I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of paintings here in Montana and posting these. My Patreon supporters will be able to see the videos in their entirety. The YouTube public will get to see part of it. If you want to see the whole thing, become a Patreon supporter, click on the link below. But either way, I thank you for watching. Click and like this video. Colors on my palette: titanium white, nickel yellow, cadmium yellow light, cadmium orange, yellow ochre, transparent red oxide, cadmium red, alizarin crimson, ultramarine blue, viridian, and sap green. So first thing I'm going to do is try to block in the approximate color of this tree. Sap green is kind of new for me, so I'm playing with that to see what it's like. So first thing I want to do is establish an approximate of this tree. I really like this tree. I think it's a big cottonwood. To get an approximate tone. Don't know if I want it that big, but we can shrink it down if need be. And my painting method is to work basically blocking in my darkest dark when I find it, and I'm working from front to back for a block in because it's easier to gauge those really dark values. At least it is for me. Everyone has their own approach, but this is my approach. Because of the principle of aerial perspective, your colors are going to get less intense, meaning you're going to have to gray them down as you recede. You're going to get less intense as they recede, meaning you have to gray them down as you recede. And that grays are more ambiguous to mix than pure colors straight out of the tube. If you're mixing a very prismatic red, well, you probably know what's going to help there. But if you're mixing a very grayed down red, that's a little more difficult to come by. Also, with some exceptions, things tend to get lighter and cooler as they recede, which also can make it more ambiguous, especially in values. So I like to block things in going from front to back and then rework back to front. That is a process that I teach my students in my live online classes. If you're interested in that, let me know. That is not something that is a Patreon thing. Patreon thing is only $5 a month. That's to see the full plein air videos. But if you want to study under me, that's joining my live online painting group. Or at least starting out with the monthly demos, which are me painting the painting that we're working on as a group on my own from start to finish with full commentary. I can't explain everything here because of the time constraints. The light's constantly changing, but I do in my classes. So, getting in the aerial perspective, strongest yellows in the foreground. We're going to drop the yellow out somewhat as we move further back. That's going to give the illusion that things are moving further back. And I want to gauge my values as I go. I want to make sure that the ground plane is lighter than the sky. I'm really going to zero in on this spot right here. A few years ago, I came out here to Montana and I did a scene similar to this, different location, but I messed up because I had primed my canvas, which there's nothing wrong with doing that. I used to do that a lot. But I primed my canvas too dark with a dark ochre tone, and actually I think with a dark burnt sienna. And then what happened is I ended up doing all my paintings too dark. So when I got back, these shadow areas, this is mostly backlit of course, they were very, very dark. See, it's a lot lighter outside. Even I usually face my canvas and palette and everything away from the sun because I can gauge my colors better. But even then, this outdoor light, even in the shade, tends to be a lot brighter than indoor light. And so as a result, I painted everything insanely dark because I was starting out on a dark, very dark toned panel. So not a good idea. All right, so let's get in some of these distant hills. One other color, I don't think I mentioned this color over here. That color is Gamlen's Portland Gray Warm, which I like using out west, especially in the mountains, which I'm going to be heading up into the mountains in the next couple days and doing some more painting and studies up there. So if you want to see those full-length videos, be sure to become a Patreon supporter. You can join me in the experience. But I like this Gamlen's Portland Gray Warm for mountainous areas because it's almost a gimme. Not quite, but it's almost a gimme as far as duplicating the light, the highlights in mountains. When you're painting mostly backlit mountains, that is. Okay, getting an approximate of these distant hills. Yeah, when you squint at this, if you simplify this is almost all the same value. These distant hills, the foreground trees. And there is a beautiful butte over here. It's actually over on this side of this tree. I'm going to scoot it over a bit because I want to get just a smidget of that, the light part of it, that grass, just for purposes of study. And it's probably not going to make the greatest composition, but I'm not out here for composition. I'm out here to gather information. And perhaps I could have did this painting a little bigger. I do have bigger canvases with me, but it's also rougher canvas, and I kind of wanted to try the smooth canvas for this. I just realized I forgot to put out cobalt blue. Shame on me. It's kind of in a rush. Also did not put out cerulean blue. So what I'm going to do, this is kind of important, at least for my painting technique. I'm going to scoot this over. That's the sap green. Clean that up a bit. And then I'm going to scoop the Viridian and put that over, because I want my colors arranged as close as possible to how they are in a color wheel, so that I know if I need to lighten or darken a color, I know exactly where I can go and how far I need to go. So we're going to pause for a minute until I get some more color in my palette. Okay, so we're back. Got some of that sky color on there. I'm going to grab a really clean brush and some pure titanium. A touch of cerulean. Add a little more cerulean. Sky, of course, is going to be a little bluer the higher up it is. It's going to get less blue as we come down. The value of my sky is very light because that's how it is out here. One of the biggest, two huge mistakes that most landscape artists make is that they paint their skies too dark and the highlights on their trees too light. Walk into almost any Bob Ross painting class and you will see that. No offense to the Bob Ross fans out there who will probably heckle me for that comment, but it is true. Okay, so I have pretty much everything blocked in. Like I said, I work from back or front to back and then back to front. And now what I want to do is just take a moment, analyze these values, and ask myself, you know, how do they look? And then how does my aerial perspective look? It's not bad. I think I need to go a little bit lighter, definitely lighter and more yellow with this green here. There is some dark green back there, some crops. I guess I'll leave those in for now, but I might take that out because I'd like to put more of the indigenous grass in there. And I think this is pretty good for values, especially as compared to the sky. I could go even lighter with the sky as I look at, especially up in here. When you're doing a landscape like this, you're not seeing a whole lot of the sky. As you look further up in the sky toward the zenith, it is going to get darker and more ultramarine, but that's not the part of the sky you're seeing in a landscape like this, which I think is one of the big mistakes why people paint skies too dark in their landscapes. So make a note that I'm going to make those adjustments. I'll probably go in and fix this up here first and then go in for the details. And if you'd like to watch the rest of this video, I'm going to take this to my Patreon subscribers. Click on the link below to become a Patreon supporter, $5 a month. I'm going to be posting at least a couple videos a month. You can watch them in their entirety without commercials, I may add. And love to have you as a part of the group. And if you're interested in studying under me, check the link below for that also. So see you on the other side.